Hey guys, how doing? Shaw here. Um, Today I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at one of the best golden era fighters, Sakmongkol. He's one of my favourites anyway. Uh, golden era refers to a time in I think it was like late 80s to mid 90s, and what it was an economic boom in Thailand for fighting. Um, so it just meant that the talent pool was huge, and these are like there was a few guys like Satman Carl, Karu Hatso Super One, Diesel Noi, what's it, Thailand Pinsin Chai, Sagat. Yeah, there was loads. Sanctanoi, he's another one. Um, yeah, and they all had each other, and because of like the economic boom and whatever, it was all eyes were on Muay Thai at the time. And because they all had each other, they could really show how great they were. Like Muhammad Ali with George Foreman and Joe Frazier. You look back at that time, you're like, whoa. And again with like Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and Evander Holyfield. So yeah, that just let's get it started. Just turn the sound down. Okay. Okay, so I haven't watched all of this. The problem with looking at these fighters is that, like, I don't expect this video to do well because for sure there's not many people searching for Satman Call, but the video quality will for sure put people off, and it's a shame because there's some great fights. Yeah, I mean this would have been towards the end of his career. I was fighting John Wayne Parr here. I think he fought until like the mid, like maybe 2005, maybe. I was actually looking at comments at look, just look how loose that left kick is. Just crushing. Look at it. It's ridiculous. He's got that left kick, and he's got like a really sharp right teep. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Just like ridiculous power. But yeah, I was just gonna say, I saw a video, and it was talking about John Wayne Parr, and there were comments in there saying how stiff and whatever, how limited he was, and maybe towards the end of his career, you can say that he wasn't the fighter that he used to be. But if you look at John Wayne Parr's early days when he was fighting in the stadiums, there's that right team, left team. Yeah. I mean, just so well timed and where well placed too. If it's a little bit higher in the chest, you'll push them down, and that's what he's doing there. If you tip up just a little bit lower, it'll sort of hit the bladder, and it's painful, but it takes their energy away. But yeah, someone was saying something bad about John Wayne Parr, and I was just gonna say if you look back at his Bangkok fights, when he was fighting in Lumpini and that kind of thing, John Wayne Parr could mix it up really well, and he wasn't just a guy that charges for throwing 1-2s. He much better than people realise he was. I mean, he's still a legend, but give the man some more credit than that. Yeah, this looks like a later fight too. I'm not really sure of what era he fought from. I mean, I think he was Lumpini champion in 1993. This, it's got to be 10 years. Oh, so fun fact. So this is Peter Crook that is fighting here. I'm actually at this fight. I would have been, how old would I have been? Like 15 or so. I started training like karate and kickboxing when I was 5 years old, and then started to do Muay Thai when I was like 14. Pete was a very good K1 fighter, but he also fought Muay Thai, and he was like the head guy at my gym. Like he was like the top fighter at the gym at the time. And this is Pete's retirement fight, and he was desperate to fight Satman Cole because Satman Cole was like his idol. Satman Cole actually, I think he broke a bone in Pete's arm, and I'm sure that he broke one or two ribs. So it's a nice send off, like happy retirement. Thank you for fighting me. I'm gonna break your arm, but yeah. I mean, you can see how he did it, right? Just the way that he's throwing that left kick, it's just relentless. And it is difficult to defend these kicks. The way that he's throwing up here means that So he throws it like really high to like here, right? So it's more difficult to block because you're going to be out like it's coming way up, so your shin doesn't really get up. So your option really is to do this or try and catch it, but because it's coming up high, you can't catch it without you have to kind of reach over the kick. So it's very difficult. But it's a great plan that I don't think many people are using now. But I mean, I like to kick there. But I'd recommend that if you kick a bit lower, that people can catch your kick easy. Wow. Look how loose that kick is. And this would have been towards the end of his career. I think this was like 2004, 2005. But yeah, look at that. And Pete was a really good fighter. He beat Malipet Sasi Prapa. He had a good fight with John. He had one or two fights with John Main Parr. I'm sure he fought Albert Kraus too. Um, yeah. I mean, you can kind of see there he's run out of ideas. If you look, he's like, oh, man. Just one of them things. He's trying to bait Sakmongkol into a kick there, but Sakmongkol just doesn't take the bait. Oh, so strong. I'm trying to think of there's a really good Thai that Pete fought. I can't remember who it was. From Simbi Gym. But yeah. Someone saw Simbi, Pete fought, and that was a really good fight. Yeah, but Pete just had so much admiration for Sakmongkol. Let's put this forward a little bit. Okay. Let's have a look. See, this is a sad thing. The quality on the filming is just not great. No. If you ever sit and watch like Lumpini or like Rajadamna and fights, and maybe even Channel 7. I don't really watch Thai Muay Thai that anymore, but if you do watch it, you'll kind of see that they're all so good that they barely like. They cancel each other out a little bit too much. So unless you're really into watching Muay Thai, a lot of the time you can think it's boring because there's not many great knockouts or highlight reels or anything. But it's just because they're so good. If you put them in there with like a decent local champion, like a European champion or something like that, you'd see their skills. So you can see Sakmongkol here, but this is Jangson and Fairtex, I'm pretty sure. This fight's called the Elbow War. So if you if you're ever interested in learning how to throw elbows, just watch this. Hit these two and Karahat, or I think Karahat was probably the best elbower ever. But yeah, I mean, you can see that they're more willing to box here than Sakmongkol was with John Wayne Parr or Pete. I mean, maybe I'm not sure what rules Pete fought Sakmongkol, but I'd assume it was Muay Thai. And I think it was Muay Thai with John Wayne Parr, so he could elbow, but yeah. But you can just see that, the Thais really knew their strengths, and why get into a war like this with a foreigner and risk like getting knocked out with hands when you can just easily play with a foreigner and just kick them. That's not disrespectful to Pete or John Wayne Parr, of course. It was just that it was just a different level of being able to kick and score. That's all. The funny thing about that show with that I showed you with Pete and Sakmongkol there, that was I remember a young Liam Harrison being on that show too, maybe Jordan Watson too, or Andy Howson. There was, but I'm sure Liam was on there. So Raymond Deckers. A guy that's sort of getting forgotten about a little bit now, unfortunately. But he was one that really paved the way for like Dutch Muay Thai, and really gave the blueprint to how to beat some of these really technical guys. It's just that Sakmongkol was probably the best at that time, But I think they fought a couple of times. I think I'm guessing that Ramon Dekkers wins this one. That Ramadan. Ugh. Yeah, I'm guessing that Sakmongkol wins this one. Yeah, I mean, Ramon Dekkers looks a bit beat up here. He's got a big cut down his face and everything. But yeah, if you know, he Ramon Dekkers was super aggressive, and look, you can see, you know, super aggressive with his hands, and you know, he knocked out some top guys at the time. He kind of was like pre John Wayne Parr. You know, as a foreigner, there was like Ramon Dekkers and Danny Bill, then John Wayne Parr, and then, you know, now there's obviously a lot more. I think this is Danny Bill here. I think Danny Bill was French. There's a lot of really good French Muay Thai guys, actually. You know, if you look at the countries that have good Muay Thai outside of Thailand, there's Brazil, France. You know, obviously like the Russian guys are catching up now. There's good guys in the UK. The US and Canada like now have, but you know, they're a little bit behind for whatever reason. I think they just stuck to the boxing a little bit more. But yeah, French Muay Thai is a real thing. Yeah, I mean, the power of those kicks. Danny Bill was really good. He was a really good, where you can see he's trying to, you know, his timing there, look, trying to get to sweep out his leg. Sakmongkol just at the time, too good. Oh, just crazy power. Yeah, I mean, you see these older guys and you think, well, would they have done well against the new guys? And I think they probably would. You know, that is Sakmongkol versus Buakaw, or, you know, a dream fight like that. I think, you know, if they're both in their prime, Sakmongkol was pretty unbeatable. You know, he's great at scoring. In Muay Thai, anyway, I think Buakaw would probably beat him in kickboxing rules. Let's see what this is here. Yeah, it's hard to watch the really low quality ones. I know that, like, I will watch them, but I know that a lot of people won't, and they, you know, it's not too interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, that left kick, it's just so well placed. You know, like you it really, you know, if someone is catching your kicks, just kick a little bit higher. It works. Yeah, I mean, these guys, you know, the Golden Era guys. Oh, here we go. Let's just show you his details here. Just pause that. So, yeah, fight of the year, Lumpini champion. So if you look at the Lumpini champions back at that time, they were monsters. Johnson and Fairtex was really good. You know, he was really good at everything. Yeah, Orano. Yeah, I mean, you know, he had a, you know, really good career, and yeah, these guys are, you know, they're interesting to look back on, and you know, it's like, you know, there wouldn't have been a Mike Tyson if there wasn't a Muhammad Ali, and you know, you know, you've got to, sometimes you got to look back and really see where it all came from, and yeah, there's a lot of these pioneers. I will, like, if there's enough interest, I will make another video, and we'll get a few more of these guys on. Yeah, get some other Golden Era guys on. If you've got any more videos that you want me to react to, I've got my socials in the description, and I've got I answer every comment. I at least read every comment and try and reply. But yeah, so that was Sakmongkol. How do you think it'd have done against the modern guys? It's interesting to think about, right? All right, well, I'll speak to you soon.